Today, the real estate broker's main function is far bigger than just create the illusion and impression of value for a real estate project. In order to throw light on changing roles of real estate brokers, may I have the pleasure of calling on stage Mr. Manish Kashyap, MD Transaction Services South Asia, CB Richard Ellis. And now I would like to call on stage Mr. Vineet Singh, EVP and Business Head, 99acres.com. And now I would like to also welcome Mr. Gajendra Nagpal, Founder and CEO, Unicorn. Mr. Nagpal, a warm welcome. Well, in the meantime, I would request Mr. Sam Chopra, Managing Director, Remax India, to join us on stage. A huge round of applause for Mr. Sam Chopra. I would also like to call, we have with us Mr. Gajendra Nagpal. We also have another gentleman coming on stage. He is Lieutenant Colonel Rajesh Kumar, Country Head, Landlord. Let's start this discussion by calling on the dais Mr. Manish Kashyap, MD Transaction Services, South Asia, CB Richard Ellis.
I think the way we discussed it before we came on stage was that, we'll use this as an opportunity to make it more interactive, and the idea is, the five of us on stage will share our views with you on an interactive basis and speak to each other, and I guess that'll help. If one is to dwell on more details, I think we as a company started off doing only commercial brokerage, and that really was the fulcrum or the only part of the business that we were involved with. And commercial brokerage really meant getting companies space for their own use, either helping them buy or lease. We've moved a long way, and I think that forms only a small part of our business today. We are now into retail, residential. In the last 3 or 4 years, we've had a very good experience doing deals in warehousing, industrial, and we think that in the next 3 or 4 years, all these businesses will be much bigger than what they are from a brokerage perspective. Of course, I still think that the biggest brokerage piece is residential, where a company like ours is still a very small player, and a lot of the eminent panelists on this on the stage here today are doing a lot more on the residential side, so I'll leave them to speak about their experience there. How has the industry changed for us? I think the whole decision-making process has changed. Earlier, our audience within a company used to be generally someone from the administration or the HR department. There was no such thing as no such thing as real estate professionals within companies. That just didn't exist. Today, when our audience in, I would say, almost 7 out of 10 companies, you will see a real estate professional on the other side as well, which we think is a phenomenal thing to happen, because in most companies, the #1 cost head for almost all companies is people. That's the #1 cost head. And for that cost head, all companies are very evolved with HR. HR has big departments. There are a lot of people sitting in HR, helping hire people, recruit, train, etc. And the second largest cost head for many companies is real estate. And if you see how much attention they pay to that cost head, it's minimal. And therefore, instead of having people whose training by having worked on a particular job has traditionally been HR or administration, we now have real estate professionals. So a lot of my ex-colleagues, people who worked for a firm like ours, are today working in companies like American Express, Cisco, Bank of America, Citibank, etc.
And at this juncture, I would like to call on stage Colonel Rajesh from Landlord.
Thank you very much. Well, at the outset, I would like to thank all of you for having spared your time, for having me here on this wonderful platform of the state world, and with such esteemed speakers sitting next to me. Well, gentlemen, we have all heard about what the modern technology and the outbreak of the information technology has done to all of us. It has made a change in a very big way in the entire industrial setup of this world. We see the aviation industry or the automobile industry, the medicine, and the real estate on a global footprint. I would like to introduce you what the landlordindia.com is all about. This is a premium real estate portal, like few other portals which my friends have already introduced. A portal which is premium because of the fact that we understand that real estate is a very important asset for each one of us who's trying to venture into it. We all know that 80% of the Indian population is the one which is with the hard-earned money looking for a roof at the top of his head. We want such community of the country to be served well on a platform which has got its own credibility, which is giving an assurance, which is bringing on together the real estate developers on a platform which has got its own credibility and has got a sanctity to throw around. The people who get onto this portal should get a correct insight into what is available for him, what he's looking for, within the comfort zone, within the price zone, and within the timeline, sitting on his chair, making use of this modern technology. So this portal is what is going to help each one of us to identify and home on to what he is looking for, not only for selling or buying, but both together. This portal is going to give a corridor to all these fraternity of people to reach the right place at the right time. More so, the real estate developers which are on board are the ones which have got their own credibility, and these developers which are on the portal are of high esteem and repute. So the community, when it logs on to this portal, are assured that they are going to home on to something which is credible and which is sure and which is true. As such, I would like to give an assurance that landlordindia.com is not an organization which is going to work on its own. It is an organization which has the energy of the developers of the real estate, which are sitting on its platform to give it a propulsion to reach its goals. Not taking much time now, since we have already overshot into the time for lunch, I would like to thank all of you once again, and to sum it up, to tell you that this portal is one of the premium portals, and we assure you that it will be a good job done. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank all the dignitaries here, and at this juncture I would like to call on stage Pritima Bhardwaj, who is the AVP Engage, to give away mementos as a token of our appreciation. I would like to thank Mr. Kashyap, Mr. Singh, Mr. Nagpal, Mr. Chopra, and Colonel Rajesh, who joined us here for this lovely session. Thank you so much, and please make yourself comfortable. Thank you very much, Pritima.